There was a guy in prison. So you don't have Google in prison. What you have is ask a white guy. So one time I remember we're watching Noah and Ark, and we're all sitting there watching, and this guy in front of me, black guy, and so as he's watching, at some point, the stowaways on the Ark, the guy reaches into a cage and he like eats one of the creatures. He like bites his head off and he eats it. Noah's son is like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, we need them.
He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What? I'm hungry. He's, I'm starving down here." He's, "What? You just killed one of God's creatures." And he's like, "So what?" He's like, "You just wiped it out because you just killed the male or the female." The guy in front of me goes, "How come he say that, Cox? Cox, how come he say that? Why he say that?" If I mocked him, he might jump up and run up and just start smashing on me. So you don't say that. What you do is act like it's a normal question. So he goes, "How come he say that, Cox?" And I went, "Well," I said, "because they were only had so much space. There's 25 guys there leaning in." And I said, "They were only able to bring a male and a female." I said, "If you kill the male or the female," I said, "there's no way to reproduce that species." He goes, "What do you mean?" And of course I'm explaining this to the guy, I realized like, God, this guy's so stupid. And I looked at him and I said, "That's what happened to the unicorns." And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Prior to nobody in the room says anything." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, I heard that. I said, "Yeah, unicorns used to be as prevalent as horses." And he's like, "Yeah, I heard that." I said, "Yeah." And he turned around and started looking, and I'm waiting. I'm looking around, and I mean, there are guys in the room who are kind of like looking at me like, is Cox bullshit? Or is he true?